Greetings and welcome everyone to an All You Can Geek Gamecast holiday special, sort of. Episode 626, 626, the Stitch Edition. I'm one of your host, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Funzon,
Ahoy!
and Tony Korkanakis.
Ho, ho, ho.
Welcome listeners, welcome viewers. Live streaming on Twitch Tuesday nights starting at 8 o'clock. Please join us. We are live. You can see video. Look, I got an ugly sweater on today with a reindeer being eaten by a dinosaur. And a Santa hat. So always fun to have guests on our streams. So please join us on those. And if you miss it, YouTube the following day, subscribe to those channels, and you get notified when we start this stuff. So yeah, absolutely have fun stuff. Once again, guys, this is kind of like a holiday special. There's not a lot of gaming news at the end of the year. We have a couple things to talk about, so we're gonna get into that shortly. But first, what we've been up to, and for end of the year stuff. I know we kind of like to blitz some games to try to maybe get some ideas for of the years, which by the way is in January for us. So Mike, you're waiting for some stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt the only game I'm really waiting on is Sonic Frontiers, which I doubt will be Game of the Year caliber, but who knows?
Did anybody? Can I just butt in about the Sonic Netflix? Did anybody watch that? I heard that was really good. I sure it was good on Netflix. Sonic Star.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff I kind of want to watch, but I'm never going to. So whatever.
All right. No, Sonic Frontiers on your list. Okay. I'm gonna probably end up trying out the High on Life game. Everybody's talking about it.
I mean, it's on Game Pass.
No. I didn't play it yet. I downloaded it last week. I didn't play it yet. I'm still committed to doing Midnight Suns, which I'll talk about in a minute here. But High on Life is like the most played Game Pass game at the moment right now. It's number one. So.
It's rare you get anything that gets like semi AAA traction. It's really like a AA type thing, but it gets attention like a AAA game. This thing, and it's there on Game Pass right there. So
yeah,
that's why.
There's some great jokes in the game. Tony, I don't know if you've seen any videos for this, but like there's a point where your gun's yelling. They like to, I guess, talk to you while you do things in the game. Your guns.
Yeah,
and
just Pickle Rick. A game made of
it is, and yes, that is it. So
Borderlands did it too.
That is it. But he makes a comment about like here you like jump this platform and hit that platform. It's like that Mario land thing. He makes that joke like that. So it's pretty interesting.
I've seen clips of it. It does not appeal to me at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
that type of humor is not.
I always liked. I'm not saying I watch them religiously, but I do enjoy the Rick and Morty episodes that I have seen. You know what I mean? Like
I tried, I just could not get into it. So
yeah, I don't know. There were some of them I was laughing pretty hard for. So not all of them, but some of them.
I never watched them only because by the time I never was a big Adult Swim person. Is that where it started, right?
Cartoon Network? I don't know.
Yeah, it may have been on Adult Swim.
I think so.
May have been.
Well, where was it first? Was it a Cartoon Network show?
I might have to bring.
I feel like it was. Well, anyway, whatever it was, I was not in that loop, and by the time I would have watched it, it became so annoying to me how everyone was talking about it. I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yep.
So I've never watched it. Yeah.
Adult Swim. So yeah, I don't know, but it's yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna try the game though, but first thing for me though is I will be finishing up Midnight Suns. The game has me in there. It got me. It got me in that. Yeah, that click where you just kind of like
got you by the Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, so there's I call it Corey will get this. I call it mustering. There's like a mustering mode where you're in your like area and you have to go around, you have to chat with people, build your relationships, level up your character, very much like more so than XCOM actually, but they do have like researching things like XCOM, and so they kind of mix all this, but that's a long segment between battles.
I've heard that in reviews that this part is like
domestic
stupid.
affairs, Jim.
Yes, that's it. I call it mustering, but yes, domestic affairs calls. But what'd you say, Mike?
It seems like a consistent complaint about the game is actually that part is, while it's fine, it's that it's there. It's the tone is like really stupid and like poorly written.
So I still maintain that I don't think the voice acting is excellent in this game at all. Like that's my gripe is I've gotten past the graphics that aren't great detail wise. There's just not enough detail on these characters. But I don't like the voice delivery of most people, like the way they're delivering their lines. I just don't feel like it was well. They didn't get good takes. You know what I mean? Like it just not bad voices, but it didn't get that that delivery on some of their stuff. And so, and like Tony Stark sounds like he's talking through his nose constantly. I just don't like his voice in this game. But
it's one of the big sins of the MCU that every video game now does an awful RDJ impression when they try to be Tony Stark.
That's it. That's what it is. And but then I will tell you that the gameplay side of things, it likes to throw some curveballs at you and get tricky. So like I was complaining a little bit last week about no cover based system, and I still would absolutely love that aspect. But I know that they're trying to do their own take on they're trying to make an XCOM clone. They're trying to do their own take with the cards. And I love the card system built into this. Like I get a nice cycle with things, and you really start to learn to build your hero meter and not waste your strength stuff early on, so you can combo it together. It's all about comboing cards, and basic of card games, Tony. Basic card stuff. You want to combo it together, and but learning how that works is the key. There's a lot of free cards. There's a lot of like card buybacks. So like as you play it, it gives you a free turn kind of thing. So it's like you want those kind of things. And the objectives change in the missions where you have to destroy something before it leaves, or that's very much XCOM-esque. But then also keep your people alive while trying to blitz it. Like early on there was an artifact you had to get, but you had to take out the guy guarding it while also taking out the people around you without, and he would basically restore himself if you didn't take him out in like a turn. So there's like a whole like system built into trying to figure that aspect of it out. So, basically that was last week for me. I was already doing that one, but then this week, the way I played it, I really got into the cycle of the combat mode side of the game, getting into those missions, really getting attached to some of the characters in this game. And that's really what you needed. I didn't have that attachment last week when I was saying it's okay. The games really clicks more, obviously, when you get that attachment and you start to enjoy the Marvel universe in this game. That's really what it is. You're really enjoying the playing as these different characters with you and developing those relationships to get better cards and better perks, bonuses.
It's Marvel.
It's awesome.
Fire Emblem.
Yes, that's it. That's absolutely it. 100%. That's more of what it's like than XCOM. That's more of like what it's like.
So let me ask you this: if someone is a comic book fan like myself, but has very little to no engagement with any type of card game or strategy shooter or whatever, is this a good baby's first strategy game for that?
You can play it. I don't know how much you're gonna love it. Like I don't know how much it's gonna if it's gonna get that hook, because it took me a little bit. I mean, it took me like a week to get into this, like to really get that cycle. You got to get through the domestic affairs, as Corey said, at the domestic matters. You have to get through that section a couple times, and then because that's really where you build your story.
That'll be the part I understand, though. I'll understand that straight away. What I won't.
Yeah, but when I first started,
learn.
When I first started, I want to get right back to the combat, and the game doesn't let you do that. And now I'm in the point where, like, when I stop combat, I'm like, oh, good, I can go walk around. I'm going to take care of this research. I want to take care of like exploring. I want to take care of like talking to these people, leveling this up. It takes a bit to open those up. That's all.
Okay.
So I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's I'm very impressed that they pulled something like this off in the Marvel universe, especially after like the Avengers game, which is kind of what I was thinking we were going to get with this. But we've gotten a better game of it, and awesome stuff. And I really hope it finishes strong, and then we get a sequel at some point. That'd be awesome, because I think the character models, if they had some detail, it would be awesome. They just don't have a lot of detail.
I've seen like screenshots. I didn't think they looked that bad, but I guess
when you get them in motion, it's just not great. But all right, that's it for me. Tony?
What did I pick up? I picked up Tactics Ogre Reborn. On the Switch.
Oh, cool!
It's on.
How's that?
PlayStation. It's awesome. I mean, so for those of you who don't know, this is created by Matsuno, who wound up later creating Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one of my favorite games of all time. So this is the precursor to that. It's basically, I mean, I'm early on. I'm like 2 hours in, but I mean, it takes place like it's kind of like.
You played the original though, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
No,
nice.
I never did. So this is a treat because I think it originally came out on like Super Nintendo, but it was like a super niche, rare game and stuff like that. And then they later ported it to, I believe, PSP as Let Us Cling Together or whatever. Didn't have the PSP at the time.
It was a little different, I think.
Yeah, it was a little different. And they finally remastered this year. So I wanted to support that and obviously see the Final Fantasy Tactics remake there. There's been Ruble.
Yeah.
So I decided to pick this up. It's on sale this week for $35, I believe.
Oh, that's
really good. Where's this at?
I got mine through Best Buy. Amazon might price matched it, and maybe GameStop. So I want to check that out.
Let me have a look. See here. Okay, go on.
But yeah, I mean, it takes place. It's it starts right in the middle of like a conflict. It's like a war is going on, and you have control of these three main characters. It's a brother and a sister, and then the brother's friend, and then they're trying to recruit this exiled mercenary band to join them and save a duke, and then you save the duke, and that kicks off them being like part of an army, and then obviously you do war stuff and whatnot. But it plays almost exactly like Final Fantasy Tactics, like it's a 2.5D isometric top down. You move a unit kind of like a chess piece. They could perform an action or a spell or an item. Blah blah blah, coping skills and stuff like that. So really, I mean, if you like Final Fantasy Tactics, you're going to like this game. So pretty easy sell. And I think there's a lot of quality of life issues. Again, never played the original, but
yeah, I heard that they did a lot.
Yeah, nothing seems to be like frustrating. Like, oh god, like this is an old gamey thing where like I'm being held back, or like it's just kind of annoying or whatnot. And then they added voice acting, both English and Japanese, so you can toggle between those. And so far, that's been excellent as well. So. Easy sell.
What are you playing it on?
Switch.
Makes
just
sense.
because I don't know, it's one of those things where like with Fire, it's easy to like just pick up and play and like be like, oh, I'll play a map or two and then just put in sleep and go about my day and whatnot.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
That's very cool. GameStop. They're sold out everywhere. Looks like updating the status right now. Amazon sold out of it. Best Buy sold out of it. GameStop has it, but they charge that absurd $7.99 delivery fee for some stupid reason. So I gotta see if stores have it. I'll check the stores, but sounds good. I mean, that's a game I knew I wanted to play. Just like I said, I haven't played that one, but I know that its tactics was incredible. Love that game. So yeah,
like right up there with it for a lot of people too. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. So cool. Corey.
I've been playing.
Okay.
I've been like really sick this past week too. So
oh damn! Sorry.
It's killed anything, but it's not like
that.
I would have played anything anyway. Probably.
Okay. All right. Midnight Suns, man. Tinker away at it. You don't have to pay that much attention to it. I'm telling you, it's great in that aspect. You can like play it even in the like the battle mode. It's like you don't have to be like completely engaged because it's turn based. You know what I mean? So it's like you can sit for a second and not have to play it. So. Yeah. All right. Let's get into. Do we have a little news?
Anything?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike. I thought we had Mike at the beginning. Sorry.
No, we didn't.
My apologies, Mike. My apologies, Mike.
All right. Like, so I was been done with Pentiment, so and I've been playing back NBA 2K again, but then I decided I needed something a little more narrative, so I actually did go back to Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Where's
narrative.
The
I use narrative very loosely, but there. And so unfortunately, God of War is like the opposite the way it controls. First, the dodge button is different, and actually in God of War, I had to tell myself not to dodge at enemies that were jumping down on me because of Elden Ring, and then I had to reverse that now to go back to Elden Ring. And the invincibility frames are just different and whatever. So I was really bad at first. I felt like I was getting better, but I'm still not as close. Like when I stopped, I was getting to the second phase of the fire giant pretty consistently, and then I'm like, oh, I could do this, but I just gotta get something that's not fire based because my build has all been about that stupid fire attack that the like grafted dragon head thing does. So fire's not good against him. So I was I got the Rivers of Blood, but I don't have Arcane high enough to use it. And I figure a bleed with a mimic that'll do the trick with this. So I need to level up, and I'm already at level 110, 111. So that's a lot of
Why don't you
runes.
just respec?
That's it. You've got it, dude. I was well earlier than that on the Giant.
You just
So
go visit
Because
Roddy.
yeah, go back and
Do
respec, get your Arcane up, and then
do you is that with the
in the
Hogwarts lady?
Yeah.
yes, in the in the
Yes.
library study thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I guess I could do that. I don't know. I wanted to do
I
it.
would absolutely do that. I would not.
You can't.
Yeah,
There,
it's
I mean,
not
I
really
had
wasting
You're
time.
being.
Yeah.
You're gonna be miserable if you do this.
Well,
had
I
the
mean,
respect
that's
for-
how I feel. I'm like, oh, I guess I should do that way
what's funny
because
is your spec is probably good. It's probably good for that one of the later battles. Your spec's probably good, so you might have to respec back, but you do have to respec for certain things. There's no way you're beating the Fire Giant like this.
So yeah, I might do that. Because I haven't accomplished much otherwise. I did go up one level. So I got my Arcane to 17. It needs to be 20. And I got Rune.
Anyways.
I know I got Rune hungry though. I started to kill NPCs. I not really. The only NPC I killed actually, and I was happy I was able to do it was the guy who gets the death stuff. His rewards weren't anything I liked too much so far. You know, the what's it called? The Priest of Death or whatever. I don't know. The guy who is up in the end of Caelid, you know. Apparently he goes I've read that he goes hostile when you give him enough anyway. So I just beat him to the punch and attacked him and was able to not get killed by him. He didn't give me as much as I hoped when I killed him, but I was hoping to get a little more out of killing him, but whatever. I still can't
Good farm there that they're like pretty good for.
Yeah, I still can't beat the thing that like guards his temple. That's not happening yet, but the little dudes.
The little dudes.
Yeah, I guess the flying thing that's right outside of there.
Yeah, I thought it was a big thing though.
It is.
Oh, I thought you said little. I was
like the little dudes are farming in that area, but the giant thing out there, I can't beat that yet. But I could beat him, so whatever.
That guy's an asshole.
So yeah, I guess I'll respec.
Just go to you just go to her and you give her the whatever item she. You should have a bunch of those by now.
I have at least 3 or something.
And she just refunds all your points, and you can put them in whatever you want.
The thing is, I'm just afraid to do anything because nothing's like clear to me, and I don't want to like overdo something and then not be able to do it, go back. But I guess it'll work if it's a full respec that you can control. So
yeah, and
that's good.
Fine, because like the older games, you had like it either wasn't an option or max you could do it like 3 times. So it's like that was like, oh, I don't want to mess this up and stuff like that. So, but this pretty much.
All right, I'll try that.
Do that.
See how throws me to not just use the fire move over and over again, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went back, and we'll see if it holds my attention for the next 5 days or so.
You down the giant, you'll be back
There's
into
only a couple
it.
more bosses, so.
Yeah, you're almost there. You just need. I'm telling you, man. Change specs. So, jeez, phone is going nuts. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So, all right. Let's. What news did we have? Do we have something for the news on this one? I don't know if we did.
One thing I saw was that Spider-Man 2 is coming next year.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is PS5.
Now, exclusive. Yeah.
Yep. And then when is that going to be?
2023.
2023.
Did they? Yeah, they didn't give they gave a window, but what was the window? It was
It's gonna be a holiday.
Yeah.
There's no way they want.
So
November.
But,
Maybe October, November.
It's still good news to get it within the year, probably. And
but
it's funny.
They say.
It's interesting to me that they announced this at exactly a week after the Game Awards, and so they didn't show up there. I don't know. Yeah. Just curious to me, but whatever.
So yeah,
I'm happy about this. This next year is turning out to be full again. This year was full too, but it's a lot.
Unless you're an Xbox person.
Well, If you're exclusive with anything at this point, you're going to be sad.
I mean, maybe we'll see what they got. I mean,
Hopefully.
put up or shut up, right?
They got high on life.
Yeah, I mean that's a surpriser right there. But they have a lot of these AAA games in the pipeline, and it's time to just show me the money, right? Show us the money.
They have Starfield in the pipeline. We don't know anything else.
They have a bunch in the pipeline. They just haven't actually delivered on this pipeline.
Are they in the pipe yet?
I don't even know. This pipe's broken someplace. I know that. So
I just have this feeling that Starfield's delayed again. I just have this feeling.
And we have not heard much about it for a while now.
Absolutely think so
Like
too.
they're just waiting until the holidays pass, and I just have this feeling like mid-January, end of January, they'll be like, "Yeah, we need some more time for Starfield," and
it's gonna sneak it in there.
Sneak it in the last quarter of the year.
That reminds me, guys, if you're watching or listening to this right now, just a reminder, we will do our anticipated. We'll probably do that before. Do we do it before the other years? We do sometimes. But our most
only if we've only done that when we need more time to finish games that we've got in the previous year. I don't know.
The anticipated stuff's usually the first week of January, but we'll keep you updated next week about when we're going to plan to do that one. But we should do that soon, and I am interested to see, like, where do we anticipate that to come out? Do you think that's a fall game of next year? It'll be out next year, right?
Once it slips from where it is now, who knows?
Yeah, it's true. They have to release it next year, right? They have to. October?
Cyberpunk.
Do you think it's like? Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be the same fiasco at this point. September, October is more realistic, or is that not realistic?
Well, we have to. Let's just wait until they actually announce the delay. Okay.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's coming.
I just have that feeling right now because, again, like I said, every other game that's coming out in half one of 2023 has been announced, open for pre-orders. Street Fighter 6, Harry Potter, Final Fantasy 16. This, like, they're all out. The exception being Zelda, I think, but we're gonna get a Nintendo Direct in the beginning of the year, so that's not an issue. So
right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some holiday stuff, guys. How about that?
Sure.
So, because there's not
season.
Yeah, because
Nintendo 64.
Yeah. I mean, because there's no specific games really. I mean, there's not a lot of holiday themed games. We thought we'd talk about our
Borderlands had like some interesting downloadable
Absolutely.
packs and stuff.
There's always holiday DLC for
I always loved
service games.
I always loved the World of Warcraft holiday time stuff.
That's
quite a
what I
bit.
was gonna mention. Yeah.
But we'll get that just a second. We are going to talk about some memories, getting games and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you want to talk about some theme stuff, like those like content service games. I think World of Warcraft did an amazing job for years on the holiday specials of it. Having a Santa basically in the game and snowman and stuff like that. They had some very fun quests and raids based on that, which was great. I don't even know what they're doing now. I'm sure there's some world raids probably, but it's it's been that's very memorable to me. And I mean, you can make the same statement to I'm trying to think of some like service games that.
Well, I recall
Fortnite,
a couple years ago.
Yeah,
of course. Fortnite has everything.
Skins and like Overwatch and
Overwatch.
Apex Legends too. I think I recall a few years back, actually maybe in its first year, I think a holiday like pack with that train or whatever was its first main big DLC. So that was memorable because that was when I was in that with my friends and first holiday pack thing. There are a few non-live service games that, I mean, Arkham Origins is very Christmassy. I think Arkham City also takes place in Christmas, but Arkham Origins leads into Christmas more. I mean, the first guy you take out, you drop in a giant Christmas tree in that game.
We didn't mention Batman Returns. We didn't mention Batman Returns on our.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I did.
Did we? Really? I missed you say that. I'm sorry.
I said I didn't go into it too much, but I mentioned it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I remember Arkham City having that.
Yes, Arkham City had it, and Arkham Origins had it like even more. It was even in like the score more in Arkham Origins. They really leaned into the Christmas time in that one. I can't think of too many other things that take place explicitly during Christmas, though, in games.
Not
Yeah.
as the main thing, right?
I was like,
It's always
Yeah.
some type of
Bayonetta
add-on
2 is
or
actually takes place on Christmas.
oh, nice.
Oh.
That has no theme whatsoever. It starts the game with her Christmas shopping and stuff like that. So
Oh, the Batman stuff, just city and origins.
Yeah,
Snowy games. Same map, practically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to see, like, I know that, like I said, Overwatch had some stuff.
Yeah, like I said, Borderlands 2 had like all these crazy cool DLCs, and they did a bunch of like little DLCs that
Mhm.
were holiday themed, like for Halloween or whatever. And there was a Christmas one, like
Yeah.
in the Borderlands universe, Mercenary Day, and you got to fight a big snowman at the end.
Supposedly, Halo has something going now, Infinite.
And
But
what about, yeah, Corey, what about Destiny?
Yeah, Destiny does a holiday theme thing as well. They have
Yeah.
their own Christmas version of Christmas in their game.
Yeah.
So
it's always typically like get these emotes or little candy
you
cane
get your
skins
little
or stuff like that.
skins.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have like the sparrows that you drive. You get like you can get one that's like a sleigh. You get a ghost. He's made at like a snowman or something. So yeah, they have their different stuff. And they also have like you're going around the tower and you're giving gifts to all the
Yes.
NPCs and
I remember that. Yep.
giving cookies and stuff. So
Yeah. So, all right.
There's
Yeah.
that, infamous, what is it? Christmas Nights into Dreams, right? That was a thing.
oh yeah, it was. Nights the Nights games themed with Christmas.
Yep. Back in the day, I loved. I want to say it was for Phantasy Star Online. They had Christmas things in there, and I want to say one of them was you actually played a Sonic level, or something like that.
I don't remember that.
Because it would play the music from
Green
the
Hill
city.
Zone?
No, the city
Oh.
from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh,
Oh,
or whatever.
the City Escape from the City.
Escape from the City. And like you're just running around and stuff like that, just killing monsters and stuff like that. But they always had that thing there. Or going way back, I mean, even Ultima Online, I remember you could you could do stuff in that.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah.
I know Final Fantasy 14. There's events. You can get like I think a reindeer mount right now or something like that. Before it was like a snowman, I think.
Didn't WoW do that? WoW did that.
WoW, I'm sure has.
Oh, WoW definitely did that. Yeah, there's no question. I remember getting different mount during the holidays. So yeah, I mean, and if you go now, just talking more like memories for myself, and not like as a kid yet, but like more recent stuff, more recent as in like 20 years. My free time for going, because I didn't live as close to the Pennsylvania crew, as the PA crew, as it's like it's not that far, but it's like, in hindsight nowadays, I'm older, but 40-50 minutes, I wasn't out there all the time. But during the holidays, that week after Christmas in between New Year's is probably when I spent the most time playing more of the Halo games with you guys, and also just the party games, the Mario Party stuff. And I'm trying to think of, like, I just had it on what we used to get together and play. Like New Year's time. Oh, Rock Band. Rock Band was another big holiday style game where we actually had enough people to fill in different roles during. I think we played that all New Year's one time. And those games still hold that nostalgia factor just because of that, getting together and playing. Halo obviously is the big one because I remember linking. This is when we used to link the systems together on the same network and run up and down the stairs to try to screen watch each other. And so we, this was at Buddha's house. Buddha's house for years we used to do that. And then the hateful Mario Party games, like just the fun 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, well, yep, here comes the star. Yep, there it goes. Yep, it's Wario Party, folks. It's Wario Party. But like, there's just so much fun. And Mario Kart. I mean, so much Mario Kart was played for me during. I mean, you guys played it like crazy, but this is when I was able to get together and play more with you guys just for Christmas break from school and stuff like that. So, and free time just in work. So yeah, that's my nostalgia aspect of more recent times for myself. And I don't know what about you guys with that stuff. Mike, you have your brother. I'm sure you've played some stuff you guys get together with, right?
Y- Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like set in stone too particular that we
You
do,
guys,
but I do
I thought,
recall.
yeah, I thought you guys specifically played like something like X-Men or Lion King or something like that older Genesis style game.
I used to always go back, and this was back when I was still living at home.
NBA
Because
Jam, maybe? I don't know.
no, I played GoldenEye again.
GoldenEye. Okay.
Because the living room had the old stuff in there, and that's where we like set up Christmas, and we kind of like as we got older, we kind of didn't use the room too much aside from Christmas. So when we opened it up more and like went in there, I'm like, oh, let's play GoldenEye before Christmas. But now that's a few years back already now since I haven't been there for like 6 7 years. But
Yeah.
um, I one thing I remember similarly, like a lot of the times, sometimes certain new games that you get for Christmas, you recall playing, and this sticks in your mind, like during the break. And one for me was actually Nightfire, James Bond Nightfire
Oh,
on
Nightfall.
no
Nightfall?
Nightfire,
Oh, Nightfire. I thought it was
Nightfire.
Nightfall
Yep.
for some reason. And
Yep.
that was the
No,
PS2 game, right?
yeah,
It
well,
was on
GameCube
GameCube.
for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So I recall playing that because the first level is actually snowy. You're like sneaking into a dinner party and it's snowing outside, and it like just matched what was happening like there, and I was like, oh, okay, Christmas. um, and I do believe, and this may be wrong, but I do believe we did get a Nintendo 64 for Christmas way back when it was probably not the first year that he was even out. It was probably like a year later or two. But
Oh, Mike froze.
I remember the for it. Yeah. Am I still frozen?
No, you're
You're
back now.
back.
Go ahead.
I
Continue your
see
thought.
you.
But I. Yeah, no, you said but I. Go ahead. Then you froze. And you're gone again.
Balls ask for an N64. What? All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna lose my camera real quick.
you
Sorry.
got it. They're gonna hear your
There we
voice
go.
on
All
the
right, so
internet.
now,
Go ahead.
yes, you'll just hear me. Okay. So, so I didn't ask for a Nintendo 64. I wanted one, but my brother, being 4 years younger than me and more spoiled of the two of us, he did ask for the Nintendo 64, which is, in retrospect, I wonder why I didn't want to ask because I was all in on Santa at the time mentally, but whatever. Anyway, um, so he asked and we got it, and I think this was a Christmas, and that was obviously a big deal. Am I gone again?
No.
No, you're good. We're listening.
Oh, okay. So that's one of the Christmas presents that I remember the most as
Cool.
well. So,
Nice.
all right, enough of me. I'm a
Yeah.
mess.
No, Tony, what about yourself there? Like going way back.
I mean, way back. The first thing I remember my parents getting us for Christmas that was game related was actually
Not-
Super Nintendo.
Not to date ourselves, but go on. Yes.
No, you can date yourself, that's fine. But yeah, I distinctly remember my brother and me getting Super Nintendo for Christmas. It included, Mario World,
Mario-
two
Mario
controllers, thankfully.
Oh, the blown away effect of that game. I remember
Oh yeah,
that.
I mean that was
Yeah,
really
distinctly.
good.
Yeah.
One of those subsequent years, I remember my aunt actually, who back then was like, "Oh, video games will rot your brain and stuff like that." One year, she actually got me a game, which I thought was crazy because, like, she hands me this box, and as a kid, I'm like, "This is a game box. I know this is a game box. What the heck?" So I opened it, and I was just so excited. Like, whatever, it was a game, but it wound up being. Mario is Missing, which is one of those
Oh, no.
license things and whatever. But as a kid, whatever, I was just excited to get a game. Like, even though, like, this is back when like I didn't get games other than like Christmas or my birthday or something like that. So I was just happy to have anything to play. It was actually enjoyable. It's obviously an educational game.
Yeah.
You play as Luigi and you go around the world trying to like find clues and answer trivia about art and history and stuff like that. So like whatever, it was fine for a kid and it was good. So I still kind of cherish that, even though like it's not really a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think anything else off the top of my head. Not really like Christmas related, but years later, as a college student, I remember camping out for the GameCube at a 24-hour Walmart because I was at college at the time, and I didn't have pre-orders or anything like that. So I was telling my roommate, I was like, "Hey, bud, I'm gonna be gone for like a day," and he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Gotta get this GameCube," and he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, gonna go camp out and Walmart and buy GameCube," and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "Okay, that's kind of cool." I was like, "I'll come with you." I was like, "Oh, all right, cool," and then we told other people on the floor, and then next thing I know, there's like 8 of us going to Walmart at State College, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And I'm like, and the nice thing about it was like we would just take turns in line because it was a 24-hour Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
we were just like goofing off, playing like
Go grab some food. Somebody grab food.
exactly,
Come on back.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And then I just remember getting back at like 12:30 or something like that. And the launch games I got were like Rogue Squadron and Monkey Ball. Because I wasn't interested in Luigi's Mansion at the time, and Smash Brothers wasn't out until the following week. So we just played Super Monkey Ball and took on Rogue Squadron. And there's one more launch game I got. I just can't remember it. But we just played a lot of fucking Monkey Ball, and I just kind of associate that with just, even though it's not Christmas, like it's one of those holiday things. Is like stayed up so late playing Monkey Ball.
Star Wars games seems like I got them a lot. I think with the N64 Shadows of the Empire.
Yep.
That was
I got that with it as well.
I think we got for Christmas.
That was the big thing for me. There's one more game I want to talk about, but Corey, we'll get you to second first. I mean, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire was one of the ones that stands out for me for a Christmas game because I bought my own game systems, which is crazy as a kid. I would work at like a farm stand. I would save up my money, and I bought my own N64. But I remember getting these games, and Shadows of the Empire was the game that I got at Christmas that year because there wasn't much available then on N64 when it launched. I got Cruisin'. I got Cruisin' USA.
Oh yeah, that was the other one. Yeah,
that's the only one the store had at that time. Toys R Us that's all they had in stock. And so my mom and dad got me Shadows, and I didn't have Mario 64 right away. Think about that. I got that after Christmas. I got that later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I started my N64 journey with Cruisin' USA. Think about that.
I think I did too. I had those 2 games. I think to start.
Oh man, the Toys R Us, get the little paper slip, bring it up.
You had to grab the slip, and they didn't have it. And you're like, oh, maybe I'll find one on the floor. So I don't know, But yeah. So Corey, what about yourself with?
Oh man, talk about dating ourselves. Well, definitely. I remember my grandfather he's always into technology, and he had the Mega System.
Wow.
But he wanted to get us the Game Boys, and my parents were like, no, like there's no way. And so during the holiday, he's like, fuck them, I'm just getting the Game Boys for these kids.
Wow.
And so awesome. My grandfather, I remember giving us, my brother and I, we both got a Game Boy.
That's
the
awesome.
Original Game Boy. And
I remember like when we met, because we met, for those who don't know, Corey and I, we met in like 1991. And I remember you guys were like the only other people I knew of that had a game, that, and I was like, oh my God. So I was surprised. But historically, you guys have been the Sega house, and it's like I remember, you guys,
because the reason they didn't want us to have a Game Boy is because they were going to get us the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
And so we got the Sega Genesis as well, and so that was
it's a good
crazy.
They were the ones. I had the SNES, and they had the Genesis. I love going to their house.
That's perfect.
To play it
worked out really well.
Yeah. And it worked later on when you had the Saturn and I had the N64. So it was awesome. But I think that like I don't know. For me, this is now. By the way, for those watching this now, this didn't exist. This video internet thing didn't exist. So when we were kids, and my parents' friends brought us a gift one year. It was like I can't remember the year. It was 1991 or 92. I'm not sure what the year was, but you're going to know it shortly because it was a box that was probably it was like a refrigerator box. That's probably what they used. And we're like, oh my God, what is this? And so this was had to be one of the earliest gifts that were gifts within the gifts, kind of thing. That you open it and it's something smaller, open it something smaller. So we were doing that for probably an hour, opening this gift. Finally, from a refrigerator box down to the SNES game that I would later smash so many controllers over. Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2. Not even Turbo, just Street Fighter 2 on the SNES. And that was my first Street Fighter experience, was that. Besides the arcade there at the bowling alley. But I mean, that experience by itself, opening that gift, was unbelievable. But I still remember the excitement of finally opening that game. I think I played that until I fell asleep with a controller in my hand that night, if I remember right. And I was young, I was little, but I was probably 11 maybe at that point. And I just was like, yeah, I played it nonstop. And obviously I broke about 5 controllers with Bison. And I do believe my mom got me 2 controllers that year for Christmas, which was great. And but that is probably my fondest early memory as a kid, because we got my game, even like my NES, which we got with Gyromite and Duck Hunt before Mario was included, by the way, was not on Christmas. That was just, I came home from my grandparents one day and my parents had that system in the house. And that was my start of my video game ever. Like, that's my first video game ever, was Gyromite. And I got home and I'm like, what is this? And they gave me a controller and I'm like, huh. And who would have thought? To this day, that started my path. Yeah. And it's crazy. I remember that, how little I was, because I was probably like 6 at that point, maybe 5. I was probably just turning 6 soon, but I remember that. So no, but the holiday stuff, it's so memorable for me. Like, I think all of those experiences aside, it's the memories of, like, with the friends and even like forget the Christmas side of things, but like the New Year's, I still loop that in to the holidays. That's where I saw a lot of my friends for these, because we would get our stuff, and that's when we would see each other. So
yeah, just being able to share that with people, with your friends, is fun.
Yeah. So I think that's. I mean, anything else, guys, you want to share? I mean, it's anything other memorable experiences. GoldenEye was clearly one of those games we played as friends. Well, hateful friends at that point. But yeah, we played them as friends there, definitely. That was one of those Christmas games.
The Halos were always good, because they came out in November and then kind of went through.
Absolutely. You had to get every year renewed your Xbox Live with those, right?
Yeah. Sort of tangentially related. I mean, remember following up on the GameCube one, when the Wii was coming out, Casey and I had pre-ordered our Wii's at the Nintendo store in New York.
Ooh.
I remember this. I remember
we're gonna be special. We're gonna go extra. We're gonna be bougie about this. We're not just gonna like pre-order this at like GameStop or something like that. We're gonna be at the Nintendo store for launch. So we pre-ordered it. Like, we went up specifically to New York City to pre-order it like over the summer or something like that. Came back and stuff like that. And then we went back up like the day before it launched. And we're like, yep, we're going to camp out all night and stuff like that. It was a little soured because he kind of bailed pretty early on. So we didn't wind up waiting. We were like 10th in line or something like that. Like, literally 10th in line. Later, we'd find out that Reggie Fils-Aimé actually stopped by to like meet and greet fans, take pictures and stuff like that. So we could have been there. We could have done that. We had our DSs fully charged, this and the other thing, and he chickened out. And I don't want to be there alone either. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go with you and stuff like that. And then the next morning when we got there, at like, this is hours later, only like hours later, at like 6 a.m. or whatever it was, the line went all the way down and around and all over again. So we wound up like waiting in line for 2 hours anyway. So I was like, why didn't we just fucking stay here?
Yeah.
I was like legit so mad, but whatever, it happened. I just remember the excitement of that. And back then, when the Wii launched, nobody knew, like even I didn't know that it was going to become the phenomenon that it wound up being, because that first Christmas, it was so hard to find. It was more expensive to get a Wii than a PlayStation 3 at the time.
Well, Corey, remember getting those with yours, yeah.
We stayed out in Walmart, and
Walmart.
They were handing out tickets.
Yeah.
And then I was the last one.
Yep. I didn't get one.
Yeah. But it's funny because my friends,
Months
especially
later.
my family, actually, because they heard all that buzz about the Wii Sports and stuff like that, they're like, wait, you got a Wii? And I was like, yeah. They're like, can you bring that over for Christmas? I was like, hell yeah. So I brought it over. and we just played Wii Sports, like literally before Christmas dinner, after Christmas dinner. It was like pretty fun because
awesome.
like my brother-in-law, he like is super into bowling. He's kind of like Jim, he's bowled 300s before and stuff like that. That's how him and my sister kind of like bonded when they were dating and stuff like that. So they did that. And then a cousin was like into tennis and stuff like that. So it was kind of like really, really fun, just like playing all these sorts of games, and like me, like, as a young adult, like seeing my family be like into video games. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I still remember that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, all right. I think that's going to wrap up this holiday special, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Once again, we are live streaming on Twitch Tuesday night, so please join us. Share your experiences. We'd love to hear it. YouTube the following day. Hit that subscribe, smash that like button, leave us a comment on there. And welcome if you guys are just tuning into us. We appreciate you guys joining us on this on these adventures. We've been around for a long time. Scroll back and listen to some previous episodes. Some great content you guys can pick up. Other than that, guys, thanks for everything. We'll see you guys soon.
Next week,
We are
happy holidays.
Oh yeah, happy
Stay
holidays.
safe. Enjoy
And
whichever one
yes,
you
stay safe.
celebrate and recognize.
Yes, and have fun. Family and friends, stay safe. Have fun. Enjoy it. See you soon. Yep. So cool.